And we are with Andrew Liveris, who is a member of the Concordia leadership, but also former chairman and CEO of Dow Chemical. Thank you for being here with us. Congratulations on another successful summit year. Tell us a little bit about what topics were close to your hearts this year, the members of the Concordia, and what you felt was important for the agenda of this summit.
Well, there's no question in my mind, thank you for having me, by the way, Yanna. There's no question in my mind that the license to operate on the planet is now being talked about at every conference like this one, and the intersections of politics, business, and NGOs, and informed influencers. It's our responsibility at summits like this, and we are doing it here, to talk about actually how to create the pathways for these next 2 or 3 decades as humanity addresses some major challenges, that we've got to get our house in order. Our institutions, our fixed institutions since World War II are not working. And the United Nations is a great example of that, where all we do is give speeches and talk to each other over a microphone, and we don't do anything. So these sort of conferences, in my mind, Concordia, with its rich heritage of doing things, forces the conversation and gets us all informed so we can go leave this conference and do things.
And in light of the sustainability developmental goals of the United Nations, and as a former chairman and CEO of Dow Chemical, what are corporations doing to align themselves with these goals, especially the big corporations that should be socially responsible? Are they being socially responsible, and are they doing things to support our environment, or are they doing things to harm the earth and humanity?
Yeah, it's a huge question, and I would give, to answer you kind of at the headline level, I'd give the sum total of all enterprises, Western-based multinationals, regionals, a C- on answering your question. If I could give
C-.
So now, as everything, there's an average, and there are some at the A level. And I think Dow was one of those, and it's because what the Business Roundtable of the United States just recently proclaimed, that we have to serve all stakeholders, and the SDGs are the metrics to give us all a license to operate on the planet for the medium to long term, not just for the financial shareholder that is more and more asking for short-term profits. The short-term profits come at the expense of R&D and doing the right thing environmentally. So whether it be the climate change discussion, whether it be the ocean plastics discussion, whether it be the air we breathe, whether it be the forests that are burning in Brazil, enterprises need to stand up and say, I am actually here to have a license to operate for the next many decades, and I have to invest in every aspect of my community. I said C- because there's been very few that are showing leadership positions, and frankly, I have a call to action to my fellow, I'm an ex-CEO, my fellow CEOs, take the lead of the Business Roundtable, subscribe to the morality and the social values of humanity before we run out of time and destroy the very planet that we have to live on. We will find a way to another planet one day, but not in the next many decades.
We shouldn't have to get to that point. I mean,
no.
Climate change is inevitable according to evolution. However, we as humans can be more responsible.
Yes, and corporations need to be, and business leaders need to leave. I think what we're seeing is not only the institutions I mentioned in the first question, but the political will seems to become, we're getting politicians who want to be politicians. You know, the old adage of a politician being elected for policy, where are the policy makers that actually look at the medium to long term and don't care if it's popular, whether they get elected or not? So business leaders who are elected every day by the shareholder should stand up to the shareholder and say, if I don't invest in R&D, if I don't invest in environmental protection, I will lose my license to operate. If I don't subscribe to the SDGs as part of my KPIs for doing business, then I've lost my license to generate a profit. That's called inclusive capitalism. You have to be inclusive of your community, your environment, and of course, operate with a view to the long term.
And another way to do that is to also breed our new generation. And you are a very big supporter of new generation initiatives. You do a lot with the Hellenic Initiative, which is a wonderful Greek organization, worldwide Greek abroad organization that gives support back to the homeland. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts as a leader in general on breeding the new generation. What is it that they need, and how will you deliver this information to them with their new way of thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I've alluded to it with the answer to the second question, and that is, since World War II, the baby boomers, we all grew up in this notion that we actually had to create a lifestyle after the ravages of World War II that the great generation, our parents' generation, went through. We had to create this world of prosperity. Successful, we did. But it came at a price. It came at a cost. And now we have to stand back and listen to this new generation that's saying, just a second, you've mortgaged our future. You've taken away the very thing you were supposed to create. And what are we going to do about that? We have to lead. We can't abdicate. I'm a great believer in the youth, but also I believe in our generation, helping lead the youth, which is what I'm doing. I'm doing that, of course, through the Atlantic Initiative. I'm doing it through my university. I'm building an innovation academy in my original university. I put my own money into that.
What university is this?
University of Queensland in Australia, where I'm going to train leaders of tomorrow, the youth of today, to be the leaders of tomorrow. And I really am challenging the youth. I'm saying, we will do it. Well, I will help drive you this, but you need to step up as well. I want you, between the ages of 25 and 40, to run for an office somewhere. I want you to go in and be part of government and then come back out. And by the way, baby boomers, instead of retiring, what does that mean anymore? Okay, it doesn't mean anything. You go serve, whether it be in a local school board or whether it be running for mayor or actually running for some big public office. Give back. This is what we have to do, not money only.
Ancient Greek philosophy said that. All the great philosopher kings had said all these wonderful points. Congratulations on everything you're doing. The old paradigm is teaching the new paradigm, and they're each learning from each other. Mr. Liveris, a pleasure to have you, and congratulations on all you're doing.
Thank you. Thanks for saying my name the Greek way.